The Plague Within is the overall 14th studio album by death doom and gothic metal band Paradise Lost, requested by Capitalism Freedom 69. And this is a kind of special record for the band because it was kind of a comeback record for the band since they kind of went off the tracks, with some mid 2000 releases, in my opinion. But they surely, went back on track with The Plague Within, a really tight and really consistent record, having again 10 records, 10 tracks, 50 minutes runtime, and an overall really tight record in general. It was just like the previous record, Tragic Idol, but I would say that record is a bit weaker. I don't know, but it just feels a bit less original. But on here we have a really special track listing. All of the tracks sound kind of like reinvigorated, like they are not the most original, but it kind of feels like the band's kind of recreated themselves, kind of tried to do something else, and most of the time it really worked for them. So No Hope Inside is the first track. It starts off really dark and really depressing in a way, but then after that it's of course opens up like an opener should do. There's a lot of signature playing by the band with a lot of these really sludgy metallic riffs that are throughout the entire track, which is kind of it doesn't really sound original to me, but it sounds really good. It almost sounds like I'm listening to a Triptykon record or something like that, or Thomas Gabriel Fischer with Celtic Frost. It kind of sounds like that, with the Triptykon project that Thomas has going for him right now. I hope a record from him this year comes out, but it's 4 years ago, so maybe. Then we get Terminal. This is a pretty much right in your face track. It has those metallic sludgy riffs again, which I really love, but they do get a bit repetitive on this track a bit. I do love the viciousness and the really just vulgar way that this track is really displayed on this album. Really shows the diversity of this record for sure. And Eternity of Lies actually start off really subtle and really mellow with, I believe, a sort of a violin opening. I believe that was this track. It's a really diverse track. I really love it, and I think because of it, it's diversifies the record even more than it already is. Punishment Through Time is a really well. It's kind of a sleepy song. Well, not really, but it has that otherworldly feel to it. It just kind of feels different in a way. It just kind of feels like you're going through space or something like that, or you're tripping balls or something. It is just one of those tracks that is really special in a way, while still maintaining that signature Paradise sound. It's a really special track, and it's pretty consistent, 5 minutes 30 seconds, so there's that for it. Then we have the fifth track, Beneath Broken Earth. Pretty much a song that is pretty harsh and pretty realistic to the world. And it's 6 minutes and 9 seconds, which makes it the longest song of the record. It's a pretty realistic song, if you like a realistic lyrics about the earth and how broken it is and stuff like that, then this is the track for you. I'm personally not a big fan of analyzing things like that, but I do like that Paradise Lost tried to do that, and they succeeded in most of the time, but I'm just not a big fan of subjects like that. But it's still a killer track nonetheless. Sacrifice the Flame is a really trashy kind of doom metal song in a way, gothic metal. So yeah, this song probably reminds me the most of Celtic Frost, just a really dark while still trashy roots with this track. Really fiery and a burning passion on this track as well. It really feels like, this is the true comeback album for the band, because I haven't really been a fan of their album since Second More, that album with the old ass lady on the cover. That was a great record, by the way, and this record almost comes close to that, but it just kind of feels less original for me, but still a really great record nonetheless. Then we have Victim of the Past, and Paradise Lost just basically, throwing shit at people that are a victim of the past, living off past releases. They're not saying who and, who does things like that. I'm not sure if even, the subject is about that, but I believe it's about that. About, music and maybe even movie or series actors, stuff like that. But I believe it's music. It's a pretty hard and realistic song. It's kind of the same like Beneath Broken Earth, but then a bit shorter and to the point, which is still nice. So I did enjoy it. Flesh from Bone is kind of a another one of these tracks that is just kind of there. It's still a good song though, but it is just kind of a bit too trashy for me. It has too much sludgy metallic riffs for me to really enjoy. And I do like sludge metal in a way, but get too much of it and you will be, or you will get bored of it really quick, in my opinion at least. So that is kind of my opinion with Flesh from the Bone. Flesh from Bone, still a good song, but after a few times I've already heard it, not a lot of replay value for me. Cry Out is kind of a harsh song. It kind of reminds me of Second More, I believe that record was called. A really hard and realistic record where the band is basically honoring, the people of the war, of cry out for help, of course. So this is a really desperate and really sad song again. It is in the beginning a bit quiet and a bit, it has that intro for it going. But later it gets really heavy and really sludgy again, which is not tiring on there because it is a diverse song with actually a lot of other breakdowns and other genres in music. It's a bit of a poppy song while having a bit of rock roots, while still having those sludgy riffs. So it is a really diverse song, and because of that I love it. And then we have Return to the Sun. This is 5 minutes and 44 seconds, one of the longest tracks of the album. In my opinion, this is still a pretty good song, but it definitely drags a bit towards the end section, I would say. It is just a bit, well, it's not too long, I would say, but it just drags a bit, which, it's kind of is too long in my opinion. But the length, it's not even 6 minutes, so that is not a problem. But I don't know, this song just drags a bit. It could have been shorter, I guess. But the album length is pretty tight, 50 minutes, so it is not a really long record. The track listing is really tight. Return to the Sun is still a good song, but I don't know. It just kind of combines all of the things that's already happened on the record, and because of that, it doesn't really feel original. But it is a nice album closer, and it is a nice compilation of what already happened on the record, but it isn't the most original. So overall, this is a really consistent record, 10 tracks, 50 minutes of playtime. We already had that on Tragic Idol, but I feel that they did it way better on The Plague Within. I don't know. It just felt a bit underdeveloped on this record, and here it really felt like they took notes from their mistakes, and they truly did that on this record. So this is a really great record, probably the greatest record since Second More or whatever. That's probably one of my favorites. So because of that, I'm gonna give it a 8.6. Really great record. Check it out if you haven't already. Let me know what you think about The Plague Within. Up and Ominous, hope you have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel Ominous for more videos like this one. Let me know what you think about this record. The cover art is also really cool with the two faces and stuff like that. The skull and the living human who's still breathing. I think the sculpture of that. It's a pretty cool album cover. It's pretty neat. So let me know what you think about Paradise Lost, about this record. What is your favorite, and let me know in the comments down below. And take care.